Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a grateful Tuesday. I hope you are having an absolutely amazing day. It is your girl, Crystal Flowers, guys, and I am super excited on being here on this grateful Tuesday. We're going to get into talking about knowing your self-worth. I am waiting for my girl, Candy Brown. As you know, we get up here and we have a real talk, real discussions about yourself, about gratitude every Tuesday, but we're going to there she goes. We get in here and we talk about a grateful attitude. This is our Grateful Tuesday. But today we're going to go over and we're going to talking about
Good
delighting in yourself.
morning.
You know your self-worth. Hey, Candy Bug. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, y'all. I am Candace Brown. I'm a mom of twin boys, and I'm such an amazing person and I'm an entrepreneur.
See, she knows her self-worth, guys. She knows her self-worth. So this morning I had reached out to Candy because I was like, we usually talk about what we want to discuss every Tuesday. And it was
hmm
amazing because both of us was in alignment with this talk, with this conversation about knowing your worth,
Right.
right? She had already put something out on social media and I was like, oh my God, we in
We're in
alignment. That was
alignment.
awesome.
Yeah.
But I wanted to speak to this subject because a lot of people do not value themselves. Like even yesterday, me and Candy was talking about something in business, and it was some things that I was doing that I actually was not valuing.
Right.
That I wasn't putting, and that's why you got to get people around you that can see your work
Exactly.
also, even when you don't. And
Right.
so knowing your self-worth, guys, will be able to help you get into a position of even your relationships. People will be able to see and identify those things even when you don't, because they know your worth and how valuable you are. And so you can start to walk confidently in um, in the things that you are doing or in the things that you've done. So knowing your self-worth is very, very important because you start to know that the things that you've done in the past actually don't define you
Right.
anymore. You can start to move forward confidently in the things that you are going towards. And it is just and it puts you into a place also of gratitude, because you can be grateful for the past experiences because they actually um, give you that extra learning curve, but also help you to appreciate the value that's within you. So those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about. So Candy, what you got going, girl? Because I see that head nod, and I know you got something up in there.
I'm agreeing with you. I think, piggybacking off what you just said about um letting go of your past. I definitely think that's a huge factor when it comes to self-worth, because sometimes we can get to a place where we have focused so much on the past, especially of what we done. But you have to let that go. And I think also, well, I it's not that I think I know. I'm so used to saying it, but I know when it,
Right, right.
because I speak from experiences, right? Excuse me. So when it comes to self-worth, it's really knowing who you are. When you don't
Hmm.
know who you are and you haven't healed your broken wounds, you will accept anything. And my mom
Hmm.
told me people will treat you the way you treat yourself. And
Exactly.
also, the hardest thing to healing those wounds is forgiving yourself for what
Hmm.
past. But I definitely feel like we have to know who we are. Once you know who you are, once you know who you are becoming, you can definitely know your self-worth. You want to
Right.
accept it years ago. Like we have
Hmm.
mindsets. You ever met somebody and that they were in a relationship and they say, well, we're not together anymore. We just outgrew each other, because your mindset changes. You really value who you are. And
Right.
um that is one of the things that I definitely work on every single day and ask God for guidance. Like anybody in my circle, like, God, if they're not for me, if they were not sent by you,
Right.
remove them. Um,
Right. Right.
it comes for us too. So we definitely have to really
Hmm.
value ourselves, our friendships, our relationships.
Hmm.
And I'm not just talking about relationships with your spouse or your significant,
Anyway.
but
Hmm.
in business,
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
that so yes, I definitely believe you have to let go of the past and know that you are different, a different
Hmm.
um
Yeah. That is so true. And this goes all the way across to, like she said, even into business, because sometimes in business you may outgrow something, or even outgrowing the way you're doing something.
coach. You've been somebody for years, but your
Mhm.
mindset is going a different place, you know.
Yeah, and I think we both experienced that. Like
Yeah,
at the end of the year, we had gotten to a point where some people had taken us to a certain point, but then once we reached that point, it was time to, and it was nothing personal against them, but the value that we had started to grow, and so we needed another style of coaching or mentoring, should I say, to be able to invest in ourselves. So, and that's another thing. When you know your self-worth, you're never afraid to invest in yourself,
it-
because you know that whatever you deposit is going to bring you even more value. And knowing your worth is not about being selfish. So we want to make sure that's clear. It's not about being selfish, but it's about being putting you first, because you can't give to others until you pour into you
mhm.
first, and then you can pour back out into others. So that's why you have to know your value, because if you don't, you'll let anybody and anything come your way. You'll be so off track and so frazzled and going here and there and everywhere, and don't even know what your lane or your vision is for your life, because you being moved by everything that comes your way, because you don't want to feel bad, or you don't want to make them feel bad. When you know your self-worth, you learn how to say no. No becomes, because you know that you're not going to do anything that's going to take you away from, remove you out of your integrity, first
Right.
of all, and have you doing things that you don't even come into agreement with, just so you won't hurt somebody's feelings. Sometimes that no will also elevate that person as well. So just being able to know your worth and being able to walk in it confidently. Candy said something at the top. She was like, knowing who you are. And, everybody comes from a different spiritual or religious background. But when you know who you are, and for me, when I knew who I was in Christ, then I started to know who I was, and what, my morals and my values, they started to take a shift and a change on certain things that I just wasn't going to agree with, and so you got to be able to have something that you can reach back to and say, you know what, does my beliefs and everything identify with what this person or this thing is asking me to go with, and does it devalue me?
Right.
And if it does, you got to just say, no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. Well, I also want to say too, when you say you said you're not we're not asking to be selfish. So for me, I like to say that I am selfish when it comes to me. Um, because you ever heard somebody, well, I'm sure you heard this, somebody say, well, I'll give you the shirt off my back. I'm not gonna give a person the shirt off my back, because what am and I'm not here to sound cold. You can take it the way you want to take it.
Right, right,
But
right.
the thing is, I am selfish. I'm selfish with my time. I'm selfish with,
Mm,
because I have to put myself first, because years ago I was so putting everybody else first, and I forgot
mhm.
about Candace. And
Right, right.
I'm very selfish when it comes to me. That doesn't mean like I won't give. I'm not a giver. I'm a very giving person, but my time, depending on what you want to do, I'm
Hmm.
able to do that because I value my time. So I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
because
that you are absolutely right. There is some selfishness in there, where you have to take yourself,
yeah, it's
take control
all
of your time.
right.
Yeah.
And telling
Yeah.
people no. This, and I think I know that's when you really learn to value yourself, when you can say no to something, because the
Hmm.
thing in this world is time.
Yeah.
You can't get your time back. You can't.
No, absolutely.
2005. So you have to really value your time, and you know, and ask yourself who you're spending your time with. So I'm really
Yeah, yeah. And you know, that was a saying. I had a quote this morning. It was saying, knowing your worth and then know your worth and then add tax.
yeah,
And so that's pretty much what you saying. Know your worth and then add the tax. Like, don't let nobody. Yeah. And it's absolutely true. Because you have to put yourself first.
yeah,
You know, you really do, because you can't pour back into people if you don't give yourself the quality or everything that you deserve,
that's
that you're worthy. So yeah, yeah, know your worth and add the tax, y'all. Like, what was his name? Used to say 2 snaps around the world.
who did that?
What was his name from In Living Color? Oh God, Jimmy
Oh,
Fox.
and Ben, that was his name. Oh,
Can
you. What's the dude from Where the Money Resides? He'd be like, okay. He do the.
Yes, girl, yes. So yeah, 2 snaps and around the world, y'all. Around the world. And a bag to you. So yeah, you gotta do you. You really do. So guys, on this morning, and then the thing I wanted to close with it, how delight in knowing your worth, right? Be
Mhm.
grateful that you know your worth, because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And my friend said
Settle,
something else. Go ahead.
they settle for less.
Yeah, my friend said something on Sunday. She was saying that one of the guys on her job says, um, you're gonna know who was in the swimming pool swimming naked once the water goes out the pool, right? So once we come out of this pandemic, you're gonna see. I mean, we've been able to see a little all of these damaged, the damage. First of all, the mental damage that is taking on so many people. Is mental health is at an all-time high. But being able to see these people who think less of themselves, and it's another thing, the personal development, they have not been doing things to personally develop themselves, to
Right.
grow themselves, so they can't delight in knowing who they are. But like I said, when the thing evolved, when the world opened back up, so many things are going to be revealed, right? And you want to be able to be revealed as someone who's grown, who's invested in themselves to be able to grow, to be able to increase their worth and their value during this time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yes. So that's all I got, Candy. You got something else?
No, I fed the people. I'm done.
Right? Absolutely. We did that. So, guys, you have an absolutely amazing day on purpose. And like we say, we end this every week asking you just to write down 2 things that you are grateful for on today and focus on it all day, because you have something to be grateful for. Even if it's not even if, but if it's knowing your worth, guys, you way ahead than most people, right? So be grateful on that. Be grateful that you was able to open your eyes this morning. You got running water, you got shelter, you got something to be grateful for. So you have an absolutely amazing day on purpose. Thank you, Candy, for coming on the platform. I love you.
Hey, you love
All right, guys. Bye.
it.